This is for educational purposes only.
In most cases, we'll vacate the case within that one sentence.
Even when they ask me for my name?
We did that already. What is your name? Now, he's going to say, well, arrest the nom de guerre, uppercase spelling, which is a dead person, name assigned to your driver's license, because it identifies you as a nom de guerre dead person. And as a citizen, you have your state ID as a nom de guerre identity, henceforth putting you in the jurisdiction, but you've already entered the courthouse, so therefore you left Indiana. You now are in the state of Indiana, which is the name of the courthouse, as a foreign vessel in dry dock controlled by the port authorities. While on that vessel, you have now trespassed, and no matter what you're there for, you're in a trespassing position, unless you have a United States passport and you have your paperwork filed ahead of time with the clerk of the court in possession of the stamp, put my business card on with a flag on it, a stamp, and you would then become a postmaster under the correct parse, syntax, grammar, advertise with your contract to say, I have a contract here with the correct parse, syntax, grammar. This individual sitting next to me, who would be the DA, doesn't. So therefore, you're in a superior position. Because you signed a stamp, you now become the federal court judge in that plane, because that's a federal flag on a federal plane. You have a federal stamp and a federal flag on your paperwork, and you're wearing a federal flag. So how does a state court in fiction, where the judge isn't on your plane, now capture you? Your position then is to turn to the bailiff and say, I deputize you as my tip staff, stand to attention. I have a federal oath, and you can if you had one of my oaths and had the knowledge, you could back that up. I can back it up. But I'm also a sovereign. I'm also granted a sovereign's country, the director of my own country through the United Nations. As the condition of state in a world of fiction is so unique that the United Nations had to make me the 200th member of the United Nations. I don't pay a $1.6 million a year fee to the United Nations, because how does a fact contract with a fiction? But the fiction still has to recognize that the condition of state does exist in quantum. Henceforth, I exist as a sovereign condition of state amongst a world of fiction, and I'm recognized by the fiction not to touch. But to be a teacher, as a plenipotentiary judge, to go out in the world and do so, as an ambassador contracted with 82 countries, have diplomatic immunity to that end. So once I got that, they locked the door behind me. I'm the only guy that does it. They gave me that position, and I've been completely honorable and trustworthy to that position and responsible. And it's published all over the world, and it's respected by the other countries. And that's why the Justice Department and the State Department and the judges around the world are hands-off. This guy is who he says he is.
So what is the paperwork that I have to have filed in the court?
That Constitution is like an oath of office. But to have an oath as a judge responsible only to your piece of paper that you have signed that stamp on, and file an additional oath with that, with the clerk of the courts. It says you will only be responsible to be a federal judge on your own personal document for the correct parse, syntax, grammar. And as a judge, you're immune from prosecution. But you have to be correct at all times. If you don't know what to say, don't talk an adverb verb. Say nothing. You've got your paperwork, speaks for you. 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. If you write it on paper, I can see what it equals up to. But if you're going to get me into an oral argument with 150 variables, you ain't going to win. It's nonsense. So don't even go there. Or 4 + 4 = 8. FOR + FOUR = ATE. Or ATE and EAGHT = ATE. I mean, we can do this all day long. Did you hear what I said, what I meant, what I said, what I said, what I meant, what I said? It says, you want her to sign right here, is that correct? Under penalty of perjury? You know that under is an adverb, means no contract. of penalty, which is a verb. Of is an adverb, making perjury a verb. You want to show me the verb perjury and penalty in the dictionary? Isn't that false and misleading information? Isn't that perjury by your own confession? And then I syntaxed in the next 35 minutes, all 8 pages. As I identify, I says, oh, by the way, I'm the federal judge of the United States, chief federal judge, and you just committed 47 felonies in front of me. Grabs up all the paperwork. I'll be back. Takes off. About a minute goes by, and all of a sudden there's screaming in the back room. Yell, 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 yell. This goes on for like 5 minutes. Then the supervisor in Miami, IRS, sticks his head out. Oh, Judge Miller, you're here. Well, yeah, I've got a 3x5 picture of me hanging on the wall in there. So he pops his head back in, and more screaming goes back in. It's quiet for about 2 minutes, and about 12 minutes goes past, and he comes walking out. Madam, here's your form. All your taxes have been canceled. You have 0 balance. You're free to go. Have a nice day. She bought me an espresso. Aflac. Paycheck. He knew that if he went back and changed time, the company wouldn't exist to pay him his paycheck. So what did he do? He knew what the 6 winning lottery ticket numbers were going to be when he came back. So he wrote them down and put them away 6 days earlier. So when he got there, he'd have a paycheck for $15 million. Kind of a cute ending to a great story. Point is, information is the most powerful thing in the world. If you study and you become proficient and you acquire the gift of syntax, you will know how to answer the questions that save people's lives and make a difference. I do it all the time. I do it as a parlor trick. Maybe 1 out of every 20 people actually pay me to do my job. The rest of them, you ask me a question, I just pop it off to you, have a tape recorder, and I'll give you all the answers you want as fast as you can. That recorder can record. Because if you try to write stuff down, I'm not going to repeat myself. If you want to get in a conversation with me, you better have a tape recorder running, because you're not going to believe what you hear in the next 5 minutes, because it'll take you a month of research to pull it out of the dictionary. Those that know me, those that have done business with me, know that once you get into bed with me, I take care of you. I answer your questions. I'm on the phone, available from 3 a.m. in the morning, all the way from 7 a.m. in the morning till 3 a.m. in the morning. 20 hours a day I'm there available, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. How many judges do you know you can call at 2 a.m. in the morning? They're just going to answer the phone and give you an answer to a problem. I'm there. I do it all the time. But only the people that are supposed to be there and talk to me get through on the phone. Look at all the millions of people, billions of people I have on my website, and yet only the people that are supposed to call me with important questions that are under contract with me are the ones that get through. Everybody else doesn't know how to do it. Yes, question?
Do you have with you kind of the life, like kind of the life, birth, whatever?
Yeah, it's on page 2.
I would like to see one that's done.
Right there, page 3 in the book. There's also the same ones on the internet. Just fill it out, put your picture on it, have your people autograph and fingerprint it, and you're done. It's called the claim of the life. Claim of the live life. What it means is that you have knowledge of what a prepositional phrase is, how to certify what a fact is. You've identified yourself, your mother, your father, and 2 other people with claims of the life have identified you to be a fact. That's all it means. You don't file a claim of life written with the correct parsé syntax grammar with the recorder's office or with the fiction government. Why would you file a fact with a fiction? It's an oxymoron. It's only for you to use. If you want to attach it to a federal lawsuit, and if you want to go to The Hague and file a claim of the life, take a lawsuit into the Hague showing that I'm a live